I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning. You can try to save yourself, but you only go.
What's going on, guys? Jake here, back on our video, and today I'm going to be doing another 7 round mock draft. I'm going to be doing the Dallas Cowboys. We're about 4 days away from the NFL draft, so I'm going to be putting out a different team each day. But before we get into it, please make sure to like the video, comment down below anything you agree or disagree with, or if there's a certain team that you would want to see. I will try to get around to them if you put it out in the comments. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for future NFL content that I'm going to be putting out, especially with the draft this week. I'm going to be putting out tons of content. So jumping into this, look at the Dallas Cowboys draft, looking at a couple pieces of it. You can see they have a ton of picks. They have 10 picks total in this draft, and that's going to put them up there with some of the most picks in this draft. But if you do look at it, most of it, they only have 3 picks in the first 3 rounds, and then after that, it definitely falls off. Most of their picks are definitely in the later rounds, in the late 200s. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they attack this. Usually, the Cowboys in the last couple of years, they haven't really been too aggressive with certain guys. They kind of just stay at their spot and they just let the best player on their boards fall to them, no matter who it is. We've seen it in years past. They did it with CD Lamb a couple of years ago. They did it with Mozzie Smith. That actually didn't turn out very well, but they've done it with Zach Martin as well in the Johnny Manziel class. So certain ones of these guys, the Cowboys are known for kind of just letting the draft come to them and then just taking the best guys on their board. So I think overall we're hoping for Genty. I was kind of debating on if I wanted to take Genty because is it realistic that he's going to be there at 12? He's probably going to be going number 6. But most of the time in the simulator, they actually don't take him. So I think if he's there, I'm going to allow myself to take him. But overall, it's probably either going to be Genty. It could be an edge player who they're looking at. It could be Tedro McMillan. Matthew Golden was a popular name there for a while. So we're gonna go ahead and start it. Hopefully we get kind of a realistic one where Genty gets kind of taken early, but most of the time whenever I do these, Genty kind of falls, I guess because the running back value according to the simulator and it's all types of messed up. So he's actually there. So I'm gonna allow myself to take him. If he was off the board here and I wasn't allowed to take him, it would probably be a Tedro McMillan pick here or a Marion Hampton, one of those 3 guys. But we're gonna go ahead and take Genty. He's one of the guys. He's probably gonna go number 6 to the Raiders. If I had to guess, he could go even higher. Maybe a team like the Bears moves up to number 4 with the Patriots to be able to take Genty. Maybe to number 5 like that. Maybe one of those teams end up trading up to be able to take this guy. But Ashton Genty is probably one of the best running back prospects that we've seen. And the Cowboys did bring in some free agents like Javonte Williams, and bringing up a couple other guys. They ended up letting Rico Dow go in free agency. So, but that's really not enough to be able to address that position. And they still do have a huge need there. And they're going to definitely address running back at a certain point in this draft. I do think that with Genty not being there on the board, if he's there, they're obviously going to take him. But with him probably not being there on the board, then they're probably going to take a Tedero McMillan and then wait till later in this class to take a very deep offensive line class and a very deep running back class to take another running back later in the class, like a Travion Henderson or maybe even a Quinshon Judkins. So looking at this board here in the early second round that we have, we could go interior offensive line. We could go defensive line because Mozzie Smith actually has been kind of disappointing for him. They did just sign back Osa on the defensive line to a 3-year deal. They do need another edge player, but it looks like the edges have kind of gone off. We could probably kind of wait on that at 76. And I'm really thinking about Walter Nolan here. This is a guy that could go early in the first round, but he could potentially fall. Some people are talking about. And with him being on the board, he's definitely the best player here by far. It could potentially be a Josh Connerly, Donovan Jackson, Tyreek Williams. Irsay Schlesinger, kind of, in my opinion, I think he kind of feels like a Cowboys linebacker. I don't know why, but just in my opinion. But I think we're going to go with Walter Nolan to ensure that interior, that defensive line. Hopefully, he probably won't be there in real life, but here in the simulation, he is. And I think he could be another piece to go alongside with Osa. and kind of replace Mozzie Smith, who's kind of been a little bit disappointing. They do have Peyton Turner, who at the edge position, they have Solomon Thomas, who they brought in, but obviously that's not really a long-term plan. Walter Nolan can be that long-term plan for him to kind of help out Micah Parsons on the interior. They also could use a linebacker. They could use corner. They use several pieces in this draft, interior, the offensive line, edge. So we're gonna see if, like, for instance, Caleb Johnson would be a great fit for him if we didn't get Genty, if we had to wait. Darian Porter is a great option that's here as well as a guy that I really like. He has the size and speed. Rightledge kind of falling off. Looking at the edges, I would love to get Ashton Gillotte from Louisville. He's kind of a sleeper pick in this draft, but I don't know if he's necessarily going to be there at 149. I'm kind of thinking I really do like the Darian Porter pick because if you look at the gap, we have to go from 76 to 149 here. So whoever we pick, none of these guys are really going to be on the board. Could we go into your offensive line? We also do need to attack receiver at some point, which a lot of the receivers has been picked over, so that's an option that we can kind of wait on. I don't really like the value there. I do like the Darian Porter value. Tate Rutledge or Darian Porter. I think we're gonna go Darian Porter to go alongside that cornerback room. They do have several corners, but they don't really have that elite corner. I mean, they have Trayvon Diggs, but he gets beat a lot. He goes for a lot of the interception balls. We also the Cowboys also have Deron Bland is another guy that was one of the top interception guys, but we don't have that true lockdown guy that Darian Porter could potentially be with his size and his speed combination that he has. So as we said here, we have a long way to go until pick 149. Got to go through the entire fourth round pretty much without a pick. So a lot of these guys are going to be off the board by the time we go. If Anthony Belton's still there, he's probably definitely going to be the pick, but he's going to go as he goes right there. Ashton ends up going. Deion Walker could have been an interesting one, but we already got Walter Nolan as well. Jared Ivey from Ole Miss could be an interesting option, as Deion Walker is there at our pick, but we're not going to end up taking a wide receiver. Could be a great option here. I'm gonna go with Jared Ivey, actually. This is a guy that I haven't really picked in any of these videos. He's a guy that played as the secondary edge rusher at Ole Miss, and I think he could be a guy that go in there on the opposite side. They do have Dante Fowler in there. Obviously, they have Micah Parsons, who they need to sign to extension. But Jared Ivey is a great pick that ends up falling to us at 141, and he could be a guy that comes in there and rotates in with Dante Fowler in certain pass rushing situations. We still do need a receiver here who we're probably going to end up looking at. Seth McLean could be a great option for us on the interior of the offensive line that we haven't really attacked yet. We do need to attack it. They have Cooper Beebe. Tyler Smith's pretty good. Robert Jones could be an upgrade. Terrence Steele, right tackle. He's been okay. The interior of their offensive line kind of went away very quickly over the last couple of years. A lot of those guys ended up getting older. Zach Martin ended up retiring. Obviously, Teron Smith hasn't been there for about a year or two, and he dealt with his injury. So I think we're gonna go with Seth McLaughlin here from Ohio State. This is a popular pick for the interior of the offensive line, and we're just kind of attacking it as how the Cowboys usually attack it. Some of the guys usually end up falling into their laps, and they end up taking the best guy on the board that ends up fitting several of their spots. Now, I still would like to get another receiving option to go along with CeeDee Lamb because their receiving options could need to upgrade as well. All they have is pretty much CeeDee Lamb. They have Turpin, obviously, and Tolbert, but we do need one of those big body guys like Tedero McMillan would have been a great fit for here, but we ended up getting Genty. So if we look at a couple of these spots, Kobe King could be a good fit here to go in for with that linebacker. All they have is Kenneth Murray, and they have Jack Sanborn. Overshown has been a great value pick for him that they ended up getting in the fourth roundish, but he needs to be able to stay healthy. If we're looking at the receivers, Dante Thornton could be a good speedy threat type guy. We do kind of want a big body guy. And I would really wish I had their measurables because some of these guys later in the draft, I don't know a lot of their key measurables really, but I think we're gonna wait on that and we're gonna attack the linebacker position and we're gonna go Kobe King from Penn State. This is another option for us. I know I've waited on wide receiver the last couple of picks, but you just kind of gotta go with value here. You can't take it based on need, and Thornton's still there on the board. We waited on him. I think it's time to really take him. I think he could be a good complementary piece with CeeDee Lamb to add another weapon in there. And we have 3 picks left. It's our pick again. We could end up looking at a couple of the tight ends in the later round. You're gonna have to end up paying Jake Ferguson. They still do have Shoemaker as well, who fit in very well there. I do like Bartholomew. That could be a later round option that we could end up taking. So I'm gonna wait on tight end. I do like Bartholomew. Looking at this, we could double dip interior defensive line with Ty Hamilton to go in there with Mozzie Smith. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and double dip with Ty Hamilton in there. And we're really looking to get one of them tight ends with the last couple of picks to look at the value. We are going to have to wait a little bit, about 20 picks, and then we'll have almost back-to-back picks within the same 8-pick range. We could double dip a wide receiver. Jalen Lane's still there, but he gets taken right there as well. So just kind of see what happens as the draft comes to us here. And it is our pick. Could double dip at corner. Could double dip a receiver, like I said, since we didn't get one of the big first round guys. Bartholomew's still there, so I think that's going to be our last pick probably. So looking at this, I do like what we did in the early rounds. I really am thinking about going another weapon. Looking at some of these guys, Lambert Smith could be an interesting option. And I'm gonna go with Caden Prather from Maryland. I don't know a whole lot about him. I have heard his name a couple times. So hopefully Bartholomew did just go there at 240 something right in front of us. That's obviously the guy that we want. And that ended up cutting us out here. So looking at that, that's going to be Kevin Bartholomew at the end, and that's going to be the recap of this Cowboys, and that's going to be the end of it. So please make sure to like the video. We didn't get that last pick in there because it ended up messing up on us, but please make sure to like the video. Comment down below anything you agreed or disagree with on it, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for future NFL content that we're going to be putting out. And thanks for watching.
Yeah, feel like John Moran. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Moran. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop